Hi guys, Luke here, back with another quick tutorial today. This has been a highly requested video and it is basically how to make the page loader that we have on the main Motion.page website. I'll just be making a quick video today showing you how you can create something very similar. So this is what it looks like. So this is what the page loader looks like on the Motion.page website. So here it is. So as you can see, we have basically little loaders coming from the middle, and then we have a top section and a bottom section, and they basically translate on the y-axis, revealing the website. So let's go ahead and create something very similar. So once again guys, I will be using Oxygen Builder for this. That's just the builder that I'm the most familiar with. I've already created a basic homepage, so I'm just going to click on Edit with Oxygen. So since I only want the page loader to happen on the homepage is where I'll create the elements for the animation. So what we'll need first is a div, and this will act as our wrapper for the whole thing. So I'll put this to the top and I'll call this loader wrapper. I'm also going to change the IDs here so that I can target them easily in Motion.page. Loader wrapper. For the layout, I want this to span across the whole page, so I'm going to use a fixed position and I'm going to change all the values to 0 here. Also, the Z index or the Z index, I'm going to change this to a higher number just so I know that it's going to be loading on top. So I'm just going to use 1000 just in case, because some headers with the menus have quite a high Z index, so just make sure that this is quite a high value. Save that. So now within this loader wrapper, we want 2 sections. So I'm just going to focus on the top one for now, and then we'll duplicate this later. So top loader section, and I'm also going to change the ID once again. I'm just going to call this one top loader. So the top loader wants to be 50% viewport height, so it's just halfway down. So let's go here, height, viewport height 50, and then we want this to span 100% width, like that. I'm just going to change the background so I can see what's happening. Let's make it something dark. So if I change, once again, the Z index here, if I remove it, you can see that you can't actually see the loader, so just make sure that this is of quite a high value. Now inside here, we want to make the little gradient bars come from the middle. So let's just create that first. So I'm going to create another div inside here. I want to position this to the very bottom in the center. So what I'm going to do for this one is position absolute. But before we do that, on the parent, let's just make this relative. Okay. I'm going to call this top loader bar, and then we'll do that here as well. Top loader bar, like that. Okay, so let's position it. So we'll go to layout absolute, and we want this to be at the very bottom 0, like that. On the parent, I'm just going to center everything like that, and now let's give this some height, a height of 1 pixel, minimum height, max height 1. The width for the starting point, we want it to be 0, but I just want to see what's happening, so I'm just going to change these values a little bit for now. The width is going to be, let's just do 50 pixels so I can see. And I'm going to give it a gradient. I'm going to use 3 colors, and I'm going to use Motion.page's colors here. So we'll do MP pink, MP blue, and MP Motion.page green. So they are the colors of Motion.page. The angle is going to be 90%, so it goes from pink to green like that. That looks good. So now let's just put these values back. So the width wants to be 0 pixels, 111. So now I'm going to duplicate this top loader section, and this is going to act as our bottom loader section. I'm going to change the IDs as well. So this one was top loader, this will be bottom loader, and bottom loader bar. This just makes it easier for me to target in Motion.page. That's the only reason I'm changing the IDs here. And we just need to change the layout position here. So we'll do top 0 like that. Okay, finally what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the background gradients for the main sections here, just to give them a little gradient, make them look a little bit better. So for the top, I'll use kind of a lighter and then darker color here. Put that to 90. And then for this one, we'll do the opposite effect. Let's go gradient, 2 colors. We'll make the bottom one lighter and the top one darker. That's a 90% as well. All right, cool. Let me save this, and I just want to see what everything looks like over in Motion.page now. So I'll click on Motion.page. All right, I'm going to create a new timeline here. I'm going to call this homepage loader. We want this to happen on page load and preferably before load. So what we want to do first is we want the gradients to load in. So let's just target the top one for now. So we'll go back here and just grab the ID. Press enter. Alright, so you can see it's highlighting it there. Remember, its width at the moment is 0 pixels. So we want it to be 0 pixels on load, so we don't need to change anything here, but on the 2, we want to go to dimensions, 100%. So as you can see, that's loading in quite nicely. Let's duplicate that, and we'll target the bottom one as well. So let's remove that one, and then we'll change this to bottom. Press enter. So as you can see, we're having an issue here, which is we can't actually see the bottom one. Now, the fix for this is changing the values in size and spacing. What you want to do is make it 2, 2, 1. So the max height's still going to be 1. It's never going to exceed 1 pixel. Alright, so that's working now. The line's a little bit thicker because it's technically 2 pixels top and bottom. 1 pixel each. So what we want to do, once this is finished, we then want to start a new animation node. So let's start it here, which is perfect. I'm just going to move this up a little bit. We want to target this top section here, and we want to animate it. So we'll translate it on the y-axis, and we'll give it a value of minus 100%. It's going to move up. So let's target that. That will be top loader. Just make sure, hover it. Yeah, from is fine. To translate on the y-axis, minus 100. There we go. So once this is finished loading, that's then going to move up, and then we'll just do the same for the bottom loader. So duplicate that, target the bottom loader, get rid of the top loader, and then this wants to be positive 100%, like that. So it's a little bit slower than the Motion.page website, so all we can do for that is just make these nodes a little bit shorter, like half a second. We don't want the loader to be too long. Alright, looks pretty good. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the Motion.page logo in Oxygen Builder. I just want to add it into the top section here. So I'm just going to do basic image. I'm going to paste it in there. Width, I'm going to do 250. Give it a margin auto here and here, so it's just in the center. Alright, and that's it. So let's see what it looks like on the front. I'm going to save my timeline here in Motion.page and then refresh this. Perfect. Now, if you want to add a slight delay, all you can do is just move everything forward a little bit. So let's say after almost half a second, not quite, but almost half a second. So you'll see a slight pause on page load, and then the animation will start like that. Now, we do have one tiny problem, which is, well, it's not really a tiny problem, this would be a huge problem. You can't actually click on any elements, and that's because our loader wrapper is still in place. Everything inside of the wrapper has moved out of the way, but the loader wrapper is still in the way. So what I'm clicking on here is actually the loader wrapper. So a very easy fix for that is, after everything's loaded and finished, so here we'll add a new node. We can make this really short, and then we'll just target our loader wrapper. So it's loader wrapper. So I guess there's two ways you could fix this. The way that I would just use a custom property using pointer events, and make sure you're on the to timeline here. Pointer events none. So what that's going to do is, after everything's finished, the main wrapper that's containing everything, you'll be able to essentially click through it. So I've saved that, refresh this now. So now you can't really see it, but the wrapper now is, you can click through it because of the pointer events being none. An alternative method is, instead of using pointer events, you could just use translate. You could translate on the X or Y axis. I'd recommend X because technically you still have a top section here and a bottom section here. So I would then translate it to the left, like negative 200 pixels, percent, sorry, not pixels. So you'll not see anything, but what's happening here, that's finished, and then it's all just moved off to the left side. Okay, so then you can click the elements. But I think the way I would do this is using a pointer event, personal preference. So instead of that, I'm going to change this back to pointer events none. Refresh, just make sure that's working. Okay, perfect. So once again, this is Motion.page's example and our example. Very similar, but yes, there you go. So there you have it, guys, just a very quick tutorial on how to make that page loader. It was, once again, a very highly requested video, so I thought I'd just make a quick tutorial on how to make it. Also, with everything that you've learned in this video, you could create different styles. So instead of using sections on top of each other, you could also put them side by side, and then you could translate on the y-axis to move them left and right. But the choice is yours. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will be back with more videos every Monday. Thank you very much.